to our series on a misdemeanor defense. So this is if you're charged with any misdemeanor other than a DWI. We have a separate series on that, and we're not talking about felony. So what we're going to talk about today is what's called your plea and arraignment date. And so that's your first court date that's on your citation. A lot of folks, they kind of think, all right, I have court, so I show up and then I get to argue whatever I want, or I can bring up whatever I want. But whenever we say that we have court, it's only small, specific things. So on that first court date, all that the judge will do is you enter your plea, and it's either not guilty, guilty, or no contest. And that's it. We don't get to make any argument. We don't get to introduce any evidence. What the judge and what all the courts do, whenever you got that date on your citation, so did about 200 other people. And kind of the way things work, they just expect all 200 people to show up, and they'll just go down the list. And, how do you plead? Not guilty. Okay, here's your trial date. Not guilty, here's your trial date. All right, you're guilty, here's your punishment. And that's just how they have things work. And if you've ever seen this, people will get up, they'll try to make argument, they'll try to defend themselves, and the judge is like, we're not here for that. It's just, all I need is your plea today. So what we do with the misdemeanor is we're able to cover that first court date with a paper filing. So we do a paper filing. It's our entry of appearance. So it says, our law firm represents you, and we enter a plea of not guilty. Now, I will enter a plea of not guilty every single time. I don't care if there's undisputed video evidence recording you doing it. We're going to start off pleading not guilty. There's no penalty to plead not guilty and then later change the plea or anything like that. So don't worry about that. It's just the first step in the process of moving this case along. So we're going to file that entry of appearance. We're going to file that not guilty plea, and that will save you from having to go to that first court date. So you don't have to take time off work or anything like that. And we don't have to go either. So even though it's, quote, a court date, it's very, very uneventful. Nothing much is going to happen. That just starts the process, and then we're going to get into the next steps of gathering all the evidence and all that sort of thing. So it's important to calendar the court date, make sure that entry gets filed, make sure that not guilty plea gets entered, but that's all that's going to happen on that one. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. But for any court appearance after that, you're going to need to be there unless we specifically tell you that you don't need to be there. But that's how the plea and arraignment works in a misdemeanor case.